So what should have happened after Katrina that didn't happen is, I guess, a sticky subject in many ways. I mean, one of the things that I know it's one of the things I genuinely think is I think that we should have shrunk our footprint. I think that our footprint as a city probably should never have been as big as it was. Reclaiming all the swampland and things like that, low-lying areas. And our city, I think, our footprint had grown to accommodate like 650,000 people in the 60s. And then by the time of Katrina, we were down to, I don't know, 450,000 or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers. But so I think our footprint was already sort of bigger than we needed it to be. And I think that I know it would have been really hard. I don't even know if we could have done it. I don't know, I know that there are stories of other places, like I think wasn't there a big earthquake in Japan that, I think it was an earthquake, where they had a similar kind of thing, where a total destruction of an area and they had to figure out what to do. And part of what they did was to sort of tell folks that, okay, well, we're changing what this looks like now. I know it would have been really difficult to tell people, you can't go back to your neighborhood, especially, it would have, and it did trigger all of the things that I just talked about earlier with, race relations and cultural wars and I belong and you don't belong and all of those awful discussions that are based in real fears and real beliefs and real experiences. And I do not want to minimize those things at all. But I do think that our footprint doesn't need to be as big as it is. But I do, I think that some of the areas that were really badly hit in New Orleans East, in the Lower Ninth Ward, even in Lakeview, although Lakeview, of course, has more or had more resources and so has come back stronger. But you still see the scars of very much so in the first two areas I mentioned, New Orleans East and in the Lower Ninth Ward, where it's 10 years and there are neighborhoods that look like parks, but they're not parks. They're just abandoned neighborhoods where, maybe you only have a few people living on a block now, and I don't think that that's a good situation for those folks, and I understand why they wanted to stay, and I'm sure that they were hoping that more people would have come back, and it just seems like that we as a society could have helped manage that process better and not just left it completely up to the free market. It would have been a really, really hard conversation to have, but I feel like it would have been better in the long run. I don't know. It's just one of those things.